I'm going to show you how to make a little pillowcase dress out of a standard size pillowcase. This is the end result, and I'm going to begin with a white standard size pillowcase. And I'm going to make a dress for like a 2-year-old. Okay? So the first thing to do is to take your pillowcase and line up the side seams as straight as you can get them. And the ideal is to take your iron and iron these down. I won't do that right now, but take your iron and iron your seams down so that they're straight on both sides. Now this little pillowcase dress is going to have a lining inside the little bodice, and so I'm going to take the top of the pillowcase where it's closed, well actually the bottom of the pillowcase where it's closed, and I'm going to trim the seam all the way across so that I've got an open tube. Okay, so I've got my tube, all right? Okay, so I'm going to take my side seams again, and I'm going to line them up. As best I can. Now, in order to line your little bodice, you need to turn the top, the part that you trimmed, turn it down about 1/3, okay? About 7 inches, 6 or 7 inches, like so. You can measure this if you want to. This is 7 inches. Turn it down 7 inches. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up, holding it firmly, and I'm going to turn it to the inside, keeping my seams as straight on each side as possible. Okay, so I've got it lined up. Now I'm going to lay this down. I have a little pattern that I made myself for the sleeve cut out. This is 2 by 4, and this is for like a size 2 for a little 2 or 3-year-old. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to line it up with my outside seams like so. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to trace around my pattern. Like so. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around the sleeve. And that's going to be my sleeve openings. Okay, now I'm going to open this up, holding it at the top. You don't want it to slip. So I'm going to hold it at the top. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to make sure that my cuts are straight on each side.
It was in the book of Daniel. Put it 7 times harder than it ought to be.
Okay, press it down. Put your hand here so that it doesn't slip around. Take your scissors, go inside the fold. Okay, hold it up so that it's going to be straight across. Hold your hand here, hold it firmly, and cut all the way across.
There should be 2 layers of fabric on top of scissors and 2 underneath the scissors.
Yes. Okay, so this is your bodice lining, and this is your dress. So I'm going to sew the right side of the bodice lining to the right side of the dress. I'm going to take this, I'm going to open up under my sleeve where my seam is, and I'm going to open this up on the side where my seam is, on the side. I'm going to lay this down, I'm going to turn it and lay it down, match it to the seam under the sleeve, and pin it. I'm going to work around my sleeve opening to the top of the dress and pin it. I'm going to go across the top, and I need to turn this inside so that the inside is open. And I'm going to pin it across the top of the bodice. All the way across, making sure that my fabric's lined up. Then I'm going to go around the other sleeve opening, or arm opening. And I'm going to start right down here, line up my seams under the arm. Okay. And do the same thing on the other side. Trying to keep it as straight as I can. Okay, so what I've got is my bodice is on the outside, the dress is on the inside, and I've got it pinned right side to right side. So the next step is to sew where your pins are. Sew all the way around the dress. Okay, once you have it pinned down, right side to right side, open it up, and I always start under the arm on one side, and I'm going to make about, I don't know, a 3/4 inch seam.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay. And sew it all the way around. Okay, so I've sewn all the way around. Around the curved part, under the arm, I'm gonna make little slits, being careful not to cut into my seam, but I'm gonna make little slits so that when I turn this right side out, it's gonna turn more smoothly and lay flat. And I'm gonna cut the edges just so that it's cleaner when I turn it.
Should I change it back?
I would,
Do that on both sides.
because it seems to be pucker and it shouldn't do that.
And trim the top.
Trim it.
Okay, before I turn it, I don't want this raw seam even though it is on the inside, okay? And so I'm gonna hem this. But to hem it, I just have to turn it over just once.
That's what you need to do, is just play with that and pinch it right now, we're gonna be fine.
And hem it with just a little, just barely turned over. so that you don't have a raw hem. Okay, so there you have your hem. Now I'm ready to turn it right side out. So I'm gonna put my finger
And then try that and see.
in the corner
We'll
and I'm gonna turn it right side out on all four corners.
Is that better? Okay.
Okay.
It's too loose. Tension's
So there you have it, turned right side out
So turn it like on.
with your bodice in.
I think it's
And now it would be ideal to press this down, but for time's sake, I'm not gonna do that right now. You can press this down.
one of them will come out. Let's try this.
And the next step
Now,
is to make a little,
we got two, right?
what do you call it?
Okay.
Casing
Tensions on.
at the top to put either your elastic or your ribbon through. So I'm gonna take this, and supposing I'm gonna use a ribbon that is, I don't wanna use this one because it doesn't match, but a ribbon that's 1 inch, okay? This is not, this is about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. You want to, depending on the width of your ribbon or your elastic, you'll make your casing like a 1/4 inch bigger. Okay, so if I had a 1 inch ribbon that I'm going to use, I would make this about 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to turn it down. If you want to, you can press it down or you can pin it down. But for time's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and sew this across.
One reason it's so jerky is this tape. But that's making a pretty stitch now, do you think so?
Trim your threads.
He didn't have any. I'm sure it's one I sewed.
Okay, and do that on the other side as well.
I believe that's got it, Mary.
Turn it down, turn your casing down. Okay. So, next step is to decide what you're going to use through your casing. You can either use ribbon or you can use elastic. In this case, I'm going to find some ribbon. Okay, so for your shoulder straps and the gathering and the bodice, you're going to need to cut 2 ribbons, 36 inches long. Okay, so that ribbon's 36 inches long. And to get it through your casing, you put a pin on one end of your ribbon and just work it through the casing. I'm assuming everybody probably knows how to do that. So, okay, once you've got your ribbon through your casing, you want to find the middle. So take the ends of your ribbon and hold them up. Pull your little bodice together, and you want it gathered about 6 inches across. So you can measure that, and it should be about 6 inches. Now what I'm gonna do is take one end of it, one side, and I'm going to make a double stitch. And we'll go back and forth, so down and back. And that secures my ribbon on that side. Okay, on the other side, about 6 inches away, you want to make sure that your ribbon is not twisted in your casing. So, on the other side, about 6 inches apart, do the same thing. Forward and back. Okay, so I've got one side. That's the front, either the front or the back. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. If you're using elastic, you cut a 6-inch piece of elastic and do it the very same way. Thread your elastic through and sew it on both ends. Of course, your elastic won't be sticking out like the ribbons will. But if you're using elastic, you just put your elastic through and sew it on both ends. Okay, so what we've got now is the little armhole, and you just tie your little ribbon, and that's your shoulder ribbon. You want the ends of your ribbons to be pretty, so cut them at an angle. And Pat says to use a match on the end of these so that they won't unravel. Is that right, Pat or Mary?
On the silk, on the
silk
ribbed one, on
ribbon?
the ribbed ones.
Yes.
Now the silky ones, I don't know what'll happen to them, they might just keep right on burning.
Okay. So if there's a problem with raveling, you can just sort of singe the ends of the ribbon, and there you have it. Now, under the arm, where your lining meets the front of the bodice, tack it down so that it's not going to turn wrong side out and the kids won't have a hard time keeping that tucked down in. Once you get this far, you can adorn it any way you want. You can put flowers, you can put lace,